So there's a lady that I work with and write with from time to time. And one day she was telling me about a magazine article she read about a lady named Renee Todd, I believe, who lost 60 pounds. And they asked her how she did it. And my coworker said, what was interesting about her response is that initially it had nothing to do with diet and exercise. Renee Todd said the first thing I had to do was change the people I surrounded myself with, because I needed hope and encouragement instead of people who made me feel bad about myself. And on the day my coworker told me about this article, it was a day when I wanted everything about my life to change. I was like, who wants to trade lives? Nobody? No? And I just thought, man, while I want everything to change, I need to start by changing something. And for you, you may want everything in your life to change right now. You may want everything in one area of your life to change. And it may mean for you that you need to change something. Because remember, you are a literal dream baby. God dreamed you up a long time ago. You have a creative, resourceful, powerful entity at your disposal, and that's you. And the being, force, invention that you have most creative control over and operational control over and thought and behavioral control over is you. You are the dream. And if you want the dream to change, it may mean that you need to change something. And in my life, I call it the one next step. I'll give you an example. There was a day when I said to myself, Ben, if I were to grade your emotional health right now, I would give you a sub-zero F-. Like, you need some professional help. And I was like, I need to go to counseling. Well, before counseling comes an initial visit. Before an initial visit comes an initial consultation. Before that, you got to get contact information. And before that, you need to get some recommendations. So I was like, my one next step is to text a few of my friends who are going to counseling, explain my situation, and say, based on what I said, would you recommend your counselor? And if so, can I get his or her contact information? That was my one next step. There are days when I think I'm a horrible parent. There are days when I think I have horrible kids. And there are days when I think both. And on those days, instead of just saying, man, everything needs to change, I just need to change something. So I identify my one next step. Does it have to do with bedtime or mealtime or tablet time or the words I'm speaking? On and on it goes. So I want you to think about your life. What's an area of your life where you want everything to change? Could it be, in your job, your relationships, your thinking, your morality, your spirituality, your work, whatever it is? Identify one area where you want everything to change and change something. Identify one next step and give yourself one day or 1 week to take that step. And then when you're done, take another step or identify another area and take a step there. Now, as I leave, for those of you who are in the throes of it right now, you're just in a valley, in a storm. Not only is this a good practice for you, it will give you something to focus on besides how bad life sucks right now. And you will have days where instead of being consumed with misery, you can be consumed with thoughts of progress. And I remember spending days just trying to figure out what my one next step was. But that was better than me thinking about how terrible everything about my life was. You have more in you than you think you do, because you are the dream baby. And if you want the dream to change, you may need to change something. So identify that one next step and go for it.